Hello, welcome to lesson 19, part 2. One example left here. We're given the joint PMF here of two discrete random variables, x and y, and we're asked to determine whether or not they're independent. So there are a couple ways to do this here. You could check a conditional probability. I'm going to work with the probability of the intersection being a product situation. So for instance, here, if we look at the probability of 1, 2, which would correspond to x is 1 and y is 2, which would be this entry here of 2/8, if that were to, if the variables are independent, then the marginal values here multiplied together should give us that 2/8. So we have to, but one way to do this is to work with the totals here for the row and column. So again, the direct value from the chart, probability x is 1, y is 2, is 2/8. Now we do them one at a time. Again, if they're independent, then we get the same answer out. What's the probability that x equals 1? The probability that x equals 1 involves summing up the row where x equals 1. So summing that row up, we get 1/8 plus 2/8 plus 1/8. That's 4/8. So the probability that x equals 1 is 4/8. Now, what's the probability y equals 2? We have to sum the column. We sum this column here, and we get 2/8 plus 1/8, which is 3/8. So in order for there to be independence, we need the product here of these two. Probability that x equals 1 times the probability that y equals 2 would have to match the probability of 1, 2 from the chart. So if we multiply this out, we're supposed to get 4/8 times 3/8 should match the 2/8, and it will not. 4/8 times 3/8 is 12/64, which you can reduce down by 4 to 3/16, which is not the same as the probability of 1, 2, which is 2/8. So that tells us that these variables are dependent. So again, to show that they're dependent, all we have to do is find one violation of the rule, either with conditional probability or probability of the intersection has to be equal to the product here. So we demonstrated that at 1, 2, the property fails. So x and y, in this particular case here, x and y are dependent variables. All right, this concludes part 2 of lesson 19. As always, please email or post in the discussion board if you have any questions. Thank you.